Nithyanandam Paramasugatam Kevalam Yanamurtim Dundvathitam Gaganasudasham Tattvamasya Laksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvade Sakshi Bhutam Bhavathitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Dam Namami. Nithyanandam. Hi, this is Manitya Ovyananda. And we are still in the month of March, which is the Living Enlightenment month, the anniversary of the greatest book, the Living Enlightenment book by His Holiness Paramahamsa Nithyananda. This energized book will answer all of your questions about life, relationships, enlightenment, and pretty much everything under the sun. So today, I just want to see what message do you have for my YouTube viewers, and we'll see what comes up. I'm just going to open it up. It says, the impact of samskaras on intuition and innovation. So first, samskaras, you should know. What is that? So samskaras, kind of like incompletions and karmas, those kinds of things. But I'll see if there's a direct definition that I can tell you clearly and exactly. Here it says engrams, or deeply engraved memories. So basically those terms, Swamiji was using, and now we use the terms of incompletions or patterns, karmas, those kinds of things that basically are from your past that affect how you are now and what you do now and how you react now, how you think about yourself now. All those things are from the past, from samskaras, from incompletions or karmas. And then those things, you react from that past in the present moment, which affects the present and future moment, because you're going to take your action only based on those things. Whereas Swamiji talks about how intuition, or acting just in that moment spontaneously, is actually the best way to live, because that's when the cosmos is going to work through you, when your consciousness is going to work through you. So that actually, that's how we should be. We shouldn't, the past is done, it's dead. And carrying that around with us, like some big luggage, who wants to do that? It's heavy and it's annoying and it's not needed. We don't need that. Whatever we need for life is now in this moment. And spontaneously things should happen. Because you can't really calculate. You can say, if this happens, in the past it did like this, so now I should do like that again. That's not true, because everything should be in the moment. You should always know that things can be upgraded, improved upon, and maybe that past thing wasn't the best thing for the now moment. So anyhow, that's a quick blurb on that. So the impact of these samskaras, these engraved memories, on intuition and innovation. Swamiji says intuition is a wonderful subject. If you just ask modern day CEOs how they took major decisions in their life, what caused the turning point in their lives, again and again, their answer surprises us. Again and again, they tell us that their success came from something beyond their intellect, something that gave them the energy or the guts to take decisions. This is not just the case with successful CEOs. It is the same with scientists also. And I've heard that. I've heard that before. You can look at many biographies of famous CEOs or business people, like entrepreneurs, and they'll say these kinds of things, that it just came to them. Somehow it came. And that is like the intuition. They're not acting out of their past failures or those kinds of things, because those are typically what's going to hit a CEO, right? They'll think about the past mistakes that they made, and that actually will hinder them from moving on. But instead, when they're open to that and having that intuition availability, the intuition door can be open for them to act and have success. So then Swamiji goes on. He says, the other day I had a chance to have lunch with Dr. Charles Towns. I asked him, sir, how did your discovery happen? How were you able to do it? He answered in a beautiful way. I was just sitting in a park in Washington, D.C. Suddenly something happened. The conclusion was there in me. Suddenly the conclusion was revealed to me. I penned down what I experienced. Now I had a big difficulty. I had the conclusion, but not the steps. I was not able to present this to anybody else because I knew only the conclusion. I didn't know the steps. This happened not only with Charles Towns, it happened with Albert Einstein. He says, whatever new happened to me came through intuition, not intellect. He summed it up beautifully saying, the intuitive mind is a sacred gift. The rational mind is a faithful servant. That's true. We have created a society that honors the servant and forgot the gift. So whether we believe it or not, or accept it or not, there is something called intuition. Of course, even Albert Einstein says this is a gift, because we are not sure when it will come, or when it will not come. But yogis and mystics say again and again, you can work for it, and you can be sure about it. You don't have to think that intuition is a gift. You can work for it. It can become part of your life. Whatever new things have happened only through intuition. Only when something has happened beyond your intellect and your whole being is integrated. When you're at your peak, something opens. You may call it revelation or intuition, which happens beyond intellect. Mystics have again and again said it is science. If you can tune yourself to this intuition or this energy, which is continuously available in your being, you can use this also in your regular life. And it's true. Swamiji has initiated all of his disciples into Kundalini awakening and into third eye awakening. So many of the things now, once we get more and more in tune with that inner space, that oneness experience, that energy that's inside of us, that energy of Sadashiva, of Shakti, we can intuitively get into it, and we practice that actually. We can sit with somebody and do, body scanning or body healing, and the things that come up intuitively, because we're not always seeing it, but the things intuitively come up and we say them to the person, and they confirm it. They confirm it's accurate and correct. So we're intuitively picking up on what a person is going through, what healing they need, and where is it coming from? What situation happened to them? Where are they stuck? So it's a big gift that Swamiji is giving us. And it'll only get better. We're just exercising now, like intuition. But people can straight away go into their third eye and do so many extraordinary things. There's people that can and do, as part of our Sangha, they can remotely view something happening in another place. And many lost objects and other things have been found in this way. Or they can find out who took the object, and actually tell that person, and they're shocked when they find out it's true. So what can this mean? So many things. How many people are lost? There's the missing person report, especially in the U.S. Such a high number, and especially with teens. What if we can get one of our disciples of Swamiji who has third eye awakening and who's strong in this gift of remote viewing and finding? How many people can we find? How many loved ones can be found and their families be brought back to their families safely? Especially in the initial stages when it's most important, especially if it's a kidnapping or something like that. Or what about a catastrophe that happens? And an earthquake happens, so many people get buried in the rubble. And time is of the essence. People could be safe somehow, the way things have maybe fallen, or they're stuck maybe, but they're safe, they're unharmed. But finding them is another thing. How are they found? The difficulty is in getting them out and finding them in time. So if we had people who can scan the area and point exactly to where the people are, they can immediately go in and start clearing the area and save those people. Because after 1, 2, 3 days without food and water, the chance for life diminishes. So these powers of the third eye that Swamiji is initiating people into have a very practical and real value and a real gift from the cosmos that we can utilize in our daily life and for very important things, from the mundane to the more serious, as I've just described. So many things I can list in the medical field, forensic science, many things artistically. People can, there was Gurukul kids who are initiated into certain length dimension powers, in which somebody will give them a name and a painting these kids have never seen it. They don't know like European art from the 15th century, let's say. So if somebody would name this painting and the title or whatever, the child, they've been able to actually replicate. I mean, of course, they're not spending days on it, but they can actually make the painting itself. They'll have the colors correct, the composition correct, everything will be correct. It's pretty amazing. So many things we can do. And one thing I always thought about, which would be cool, there's so many plants and species that have been extinct. If there's a way to, teleport, that's another thing, teleportation as one of the gifts of Swamiji, the ability to teleport or to materialize. If we can bring back the seeds of some of these exotic plants that have been destroyed even in the rainforests or in other parts of the world, these exotic plants that have such strong, potent medicinal purposes. And especially in India, there's so many medicinal plants and items recorded in Siddha medicine and Ayurvedic medicine that can cure so many things. And if we can get a hold of that by materializing those seeds and planting it again, that'd be pretty cool. Anyway, it's one of my things, one of my many things that I would like to see happen. So things that benefit humanity, we can do that. We can do that with the Vedic sciences, and Swamiji is reviving that. And you'll see in some time, mark my words, within less than a decade, I would say 5 years, Swamiji Nithyananda, that name will be a household name. And because of all the beautiful work he's doing, how he's reviving the Vedic tradition, how he's helping humanity in so many different levels. So, anyhow, thanks again for watching. I will include the book. You can download the Living Enlightenment book, and the page number is 392. I hardly got anywhere in it because I always like to explain something a little more with examples so that it's maybe easier to understand and relate to, and hopefully a little entertaining also. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Nithyananda.